showed that schools with a higher music programs scored 22% higher on English tests and 20% higher on math tests. Also, at the University of Toronto, Mississauga, it showed that 6-year-olds who participated in music and piano lessons scored higher on IQ tests. We are Music Mania Community Center. We are a not-for-profit organization. We offer free basic music lessons to the public, and we want to offer a place where the community can interact through music.
Okay, our purpose of our business is to offer music lessons to people who are less likely to get the chance to have an opportunity to learn how to play an instrument.
Our goal is to create a place where people can get involved and have fun while learning music.
So our location is 3702 South Clinton Street, has a square footage of 3,855 square feet. And so we chose this location because it's on the southern part of town, and it's in an area that shows a higher percentages of families towards a poverty level. So would you guys like me to explain the inside?
Yes.
Okay, so we were thinking our entrance would be here, like a normal part of the building, and this would be the main area, and it would split off in the entrance to two bathrooms. And this would be part for like employees, and then there'd be two hallways going down into smaller and larger rooms for lessons. And then this whole spot up here, I forgot to include a door into there, but that could be a storage space for just everything that we would need to store.
Okay, we decided to be open 3 days out of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. We are offering basic lessons or group lessons free, and for more advanced lessons, it'd be $10 for 30 minutes and $15 for an hour. For our 18-week semester, it'd be up to like $180 compared to Sweetwater's, which is $540.
Okay, we'll be open 144 days throughout the year, and we expect about 50 people a day. That means that we have 7,200 people a year, and we expect 1/3 of those people to pay for advanced lessons, which is where we got our service revenue from, of $24,000. Our cost of goods will be $15,085. That's instruments and all the instruments and music and equipment that we need. And our annual building cost will be $48,187. We hope to get funds through fundraisers and partnerships. There's companies that will be interested in actually helping a place that wants to get the community involved actually make a difference, like Sweetwater. That we hope they'll be interested in helping us.
Our main competition will be Sweetwater. Their lessons are $540 for an 18-week semester. They have an average of 100 people a day for lessons. Their strengths include years of experience, a large variety of customers from all over the world, and they are multifaceted. Their weaknesses, their lessons are expensive, and they only offer 3 types of lessons: piano, guitar, and vocal.
Okay, this is our website.
We created a website just to show, like our purpose and like where we're located and stuff. Like the costs and like why we're doing this and stuff like that.
flyers, which you guys have. That's how we plan to market our business.
So our focus is kids and young adults. In Fort Wayne, the average household income is around $40,000, and 34% of the households in Fort Wayne are made up of children under the age of 18. And so, about our business, our strengths is it'll keep gets the community involved and keeps the traditional music alive, and we hope to give people a better education on music and have fun with it.
We are music making communities.
We strive to keep music alive.
How are you okay, I might have missed it in your very beginning. Or is this a non-for-profit business? Okay, all right, then that answers a lot of my questions. Okay, and then your employees must be volunteers?
Yeah, hopefully, but we also listen to it, and if we had to pay for, like, instructors, it would cost about $24 an hour for music instructors.
Okay, okay. That answers a lot of them.
Since you're a not-for-profit, I think something you might think about is the video that you showed where the instruments are, fading across the screen. You might put a couple screens in with the statistics you shared at the front, where you're saying the higher scores on schools where there's music programs and things like that. I think that'd be really cool if those stats were coming across the screen like that as well. That might help you in your fundraising efforts, where people are understanding that. Hopefully they're ready to write a check, right after seeing that, right after watching the video.
Do you have any idea how many instructors, for the number of people you said you could handle?
We said at first we said 6 or 7 instructors like a day, because we also will offer group lessons and stuff like that, not just individual lessons. So we thought about that, and so we said 6 or 7 instructors.
6 or 7, you think, in the daytime, and then is it 2 o'clock? Is that early for? Because you gotta wait till school's out, right? You're looking for young people to do that. And then I like your use of Sweetwater, but I think using them as a competitor and a partner will probably be tough for you. I mean, you're asking them to be a partner of yours and then also a competitor of yours. But I like that. I like that idea. Is that building by the Taylor Street? Is that anywhere close to Taylor?
Is it an existing building or is it a building you're going to build?
It's an existing.
Existing. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Did you have the price for that building on there?
Yeah, it was
48 some a year, right?
48,187 for an annual price.
That's rent or lease on that building. In your CAD, you had like 5 rooms on top, sorry. Is that all you're planning on is 5?
Yeah, we had smaller buildings for just for a lesson for one person, but we also had large rooms for group lessons.
In that drawing,
yeah,
some of those
it
rooms
was also in it was the first run thing. We were just thinking about it. We could. I know how to explain it. Like we can still go.
You guys are musicians.
Yeah.
How do you do group drum lessons?
That would be
I just wondered.
Drum circles.
Yeah.
Is that a soundproof room or something?
They would all have
Also,
to
the
be.
Yeah, they would all
two
have
big
to be,
rooms
so.
would be your group.
I know nothing
and then
about
the-
music.
And then you got the smaller rooms for the private lessons.
Yeah.
Is it already set up that way, or you have to remodel?
Well, we didn't actually get a chance to see the inside, but this is probably how we.
Did you add that cost in your program,
It was
the cost of remodel?
actually it was hard to actually find how much it would be, so we actually have to get back to you.
Okay.
How much that cost.
Okay. That's good, I like your idea.
I would have a suggestion, like, I know I have grandkids and my daughter's thinking about piano lessons for them, and they're toddlers. So you could do that 2 o'clock before school gets out and focus on maybe that group of kids starting out, young kids and stuff like that. You might want to think about that.
Yeah, because we don't get out of school till 4 o'clock, so that's why we try to wait until give a later time too. So 8 o'clock, and teens be because some people have jobs.
I like that idea of keeping it open later than starting, but you could focus and fill in that time
Mhm.
with the younger toddler kids who are not in school.
Did anyone call Sweetwater and talk to Chuck, the owner?
I didn't talk to the owner, but I talked to like the director of the music like academy part of it, and he gave us numbers of how many people they have a day and how much their lessons cost for the 18-week semester. And I talked to him.
Well, I'm more interested in them helping. Did you talk to them? You might be surprised. He's a very generous man. He probably even talked to you one-on-one.
Yep.
He has an open door policy, so you'd be surprised if you actually called and talked to him what he might offer.
I actually thought it was a really good idea that would be doable, and I liked how you had a lot of reasoning for a lot of the things that you did. I want you to think about that same reasoning with your marketing, like who your audience is and what you're trying to convey about yourselves. Like, music is an emotional thing. I think if you put more people in your video and on your website, children, really tap into the heartstrings of people, you'd have a lot more involvement from the community.
And the statistics of why music affects grades in school and things like that.
That was good information.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm gonna echo that, how you want people to help. So this is what we offer, but this is how you can help us
Get volunteers.
to get volunteers, to get equipment donated, because not everybody is going to have based on who your target is, your, maybe some people don't have those pieces of equipment. So maybe you could get people to donate their used equipment, and you would, in your storage facility back there, you would have pieces of equipment that some people could rent or borrow, possibly borrow.
You had equipment costs in there.
Yeah, that was for like tables, chairs, music stands.
You didn't, that wasn't for any instrument?
Or cost of goods, that was for instruments.
Instruments, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what that was.
But if you could get donations, that would be very nice. It would help you out. I want to commend you on your use of hyperlinks. Thank you for not going out of the PowerPoint. I thought that was outstanding. And then your SWOT analysis, you only have the strengths and weaknesses, which was appropriate in your PowerPoint. How did you start that? This is a marketing tool, and I'm a marketing professor, so it was very interesting to me to see you're the first group that has touched upon that, and it was very exciting that you actually did that. So congratulations, number one. But number two, was there anything that made you touch upon those two things, strengths and weaknesses? Just a question. You can say no, that's fine.
We said something about the strengths and weaknesses because I participated, like I did piano lessons for a few months, but they started to get too expensive for my mom for me to continue to do it, and so the expense is one of the things that stopped me from doing it, and so that's probably one of the weaknesses of Sweetwater because it was so expensive. My mom couldn't keep up with the payments and everything, so that's the reason I tried to include the weaknesses in it.
Great. All right. Thank you.
And you're always allowed to add those kind of stories in, like the business piece here too, because that might have got, I think I know Carlos's reason for doing it, and I know Ella's reasons for doing it, but that would be cool to hear. Like the part of the volunteer portion of it is, students like me don't get a chance sometimes to follow a dream of music because of the lack of funds that we're able to do that. Sometimes that might be something to incorporate. Like Tony said, when you did your videos, if you do add people in it, then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, not just the music is actually helping kids too, and now I get that. Okay, Mike?
Yeah, so great job. I think the numbers that you guys put together for the budget were very, very detailed, so that was really neat. I think that was probably one of the best financial assessments that we've seen. I would just echo everyone's thoughts that the intro that you had, like, I was hooked, right? Like all these stats about how it helps kids in school, and it got very personal for me, and I thought that was really neat. And then we kind of strayed away from that, so I would make that a big focus on this presentation. I think that's really, really cool, and there's a lot of opportunity there. And then the only thing I would suggest with the
presentation is considering some of the things based on your target. There will be a lot of people that are coming in, right? Their parents will have to bring them, have to have transportation. So I think about things like parking and convenience for families, and you know, maybe look at some other companies that have tried that and found success based on surrounding circumstances that really didn't make them. Great job, very cool.
Good job.
I thought your, just to piggyback, most people said this, but you know, the great companies are the ones that have this reason that they exist behind them. And your guys' story, you know, the echo in the beginning, you know, really showed, personalized the whole thing for you. So keep that very much alive throughout the presentation, as people have said. I would consider, like, Sweetwater could be a huge partner in something like this, because you're never going to compete with them, because they, I think now with the last acquisition of Concert Music, own every instructor in the, well, they don't own them because that's like the weird dynamic at Sweetwater. The musicians were all independent contractors because they don't want to be anybody's employees, right? So you have this resource there that that I think you could piggyback off of with Sweetwater and really bring a story to the administration there, why that they should allocate some of their resources to this cause. And they do drum, bass, and string lessons as well. Sweetwater does.
Yeah, on the website, yeah, they said they just offer guitar. Well, when, it was when I called today, they said they just offer guitar unless academy.
Where would you like to go with this? Like, where would you like to go with this idea? Like, I mean, Tony said it's probably one of the more doable ones that I've seen in all the 23 that I get to see all day long. Like, these guys don't get to see all 23 of the presentations, and yours is probably one of the most doable of the presentation. I mean, there's some others that I'm like Kirby, Mr. Pace wants to take a couple and jam them together like a casino with an aquarium restaurant in it, but yeah, that has a wave pool in it. So we're putting a bunch of things on there, but I think you really need to take what Miss Ryan said and maybe call Mr. Surat, because he is real, like, he will sit down, especially he's a Wayne grad, and he loves sitting down with Wayne students. John will tell you last year at the entrepreneur luncheon, he like made his way past business people to introduce himself to the students that were sitting down at the tables, and that meant a huge deal to our students, but also it probably made just as big a deal on him. So I think maybe you at least try it. I think at least you like just maybe put your foot forward and maybe take a chance, or maybe find people that really want to jump on board with you guys and see if there's a way to at least see what would happen if this was to come to fruition. I don't know. I mean,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I have a potential investor for this as well. I have someone looking for buildings downtown to do literally something like this, but she was thinking more with other arts like ballet and painting and things, and making it just an arts community center. So she'd be interested probably in seeing this presentation.
I would. This is social entrepreneurship at its best.
Yeah.
And I would maybe think more in terms of how to create the framework around this. Maybe think less of it about a structure as a building and more as a concept. And I think that might open your mind and show you how to get this done. I think it's a great idea.
Misty?
Just when you do call and speak to him, he does have his cell number available to the public, and he does answer it. So if you took the initiative to call him directly, he'd be happy to talk to you, especially knowing what you're trying to accomplish.
And don't be surprised when he answers.
Yeah, he will answer.
Wow.
Yeah, and don't and do the same thing you did before, where you were telling me what you were gonna say before you say it, because we'll help you and we'll sit down with you. I think out of the probably 3 years even Mike has been here with me and Vic, that we've seen, and Misty, we've seen a lot of presentations, and this one, your numbers are so good that I think maybe even, I mean, at least throw it out there and then contact Tony when this is all done, and I have his email address. Send him an email and say, can we at least present to that person and see what happens, and if the person takes the idea and invests into it, maybe you guys can take on to a mentor or an internship with them. So now it's an opportunity to get your name out there, like we said. you guys don't know, but they created resumes for the first time ever through this project. And was there a lot on it?
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the cool thing is, like, they realize, like, oh my gosh, like, next year I can start getting a job and doing those things, and how much better my resume will look. But I really do. And you can go in there and tell all the students in there that the idea was liked in a different kind of way. I think this is something that you don't have to put money towards. It's more of, like John said, it's a social thing. You don't necessarily have to have a building to make this thing happen, because you are trying to give back to the community in a way that you guys knew the statistics, not me.
There has to be space in Fort Wayne for
Yeah,
nonprofits that you
absolutely.
would get. I mean, you have to lend itself to the noise factor. You know, you might have to get it like after hour building, which is what your hours are anyway, or after hours, you know, part of the time. But as far as knowing what you're gonna say before you call them, maybe you should sit down with your teacher and do a dry run, have him play his
Yeah.
role, and then he can like come at you type of questions he might have.
And the
Or
vid-
you're prepared.
Yeah, and the video more intense. Get digital design. There's kids in there that would love to put a video together that would do what he said. I mean, you gotta. It would be cool to see the statistics running across the screen, like Mr. Shai said. You got this amount of people learning from music, and this how the grades increase and all that. I think you can use so many resources in this school to start putting together a group of people that would want to do this on a bigger scale. I mean, just like the Amazing Race people that are meeting with Visit Fort Wayne right now to create something in 2017 that's going to be their idea. There are people that will take a chance and at least listen. And if they say no after they listen to it, that's fine. At least you tried.
It's pretty exciting.
It is. Good
job.
job, guys.